Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna weigh in on this because I think it's just funny to me. So there's the Cheesecake Factory conversation, right? Where there are women who are like, don't go on these dates, right? Here's the thing about all of it. What is true for one person is probably not going to be true for you. Whoever you're listening to, you could listen to a girl who looks just like you, who's like very similar in so many ways. The reality is just everyone is different. Like there's just all it's like all of the nuance, and so many things come down to like timing, opportunity. Some of it comes down to like wealth. Just like people with more wealth can like generate opportunities for themselves just by having money. The reality is though, if you're a girl, they have a lot of places on the list here. It says here are places you should you should refuse to go on a first date: the Cheesecake Factory, Applebee's, Chili's, Chipotle, the Olive Garden, the movies, your house, any fast food chain, Buffalo Wild Wings, Wingstop, Red Lobster, a buffet, church, Starbucks, coffee dates, the gym, IHOP, Denny's. It's like so many places are on this list. These are all like really common. I'm not sure if it's trying to put like a budget here. If that's the point where the person's trying to say like, I'm not gonna go on a first date with you that is cheap. Which I don't know at any of those places. Like some of those places I don't normally eat, but like IHOP, yeah, IHOP is pretty cheap. The Cheesecake Factory is not necessarily like cheap. It's certainly not expensive, but it's also like not McDonald's. Like IHOP is kind of McDonald's ish. Starbucks, like coffee dates. Yeah, I really don't know. I don't know. I think that um, I don't know. Here's the thing. It really depends on like where you are in life. Like if you're a college student, like, and you're like dating someone, that's probably where you're going to have these like first dates, right? These are people who are like young, they're in college or something, they're undergraduates. Like even going to those places is kind of like expensive. Like for instance, like out here we have something called like a first watch, and like it's definitely not like top of the line, but I see a lot of people going on dates there. You just go, you get like pancakes with someone, you might just hang out with them there. That seems like a perfectly reasonable thing. Like I literally see college students doing it all day. I work in restaurants, so I'm just telling you from my own experience. Having worked in like both fine dining and fast casual chains, I mean, for fine dining restaurants, which I'm guessing whoever made this list, um, most Americans would go to like a fine dining restaurant like once a year. They would go for like a birthday once a year, okay? Or like so I think a lot of girls are literally sitting here expecting on a first date to get something that most people get once a year. I'm not sure how many first dates they're going on, but that seems like a stretch. Like then here's another thing, like it feels like everyone is trying to date a 1% person, which statistically just doesn't really make sense, because you couldn't have the whole point of being like a 1% person is like you like are. So I don't know like why people are making lists like this. It's just so dumb. If you have to make the list, you're not a 1%er, and you should like you're just fooling yourself, right? Like if and then another thing, so there was another part of this where I guess some men made another part of the list, and they say these are the types of women that men should not take on a date. That's interesting. Like, okay, so here's what they say. They say single mothers, women with a lot of tattoos, women who dress provocatively, sex workers, women with a large social media following, women with purple hair, women with promiscuous friends, women who travel alone regularly, women that drink a lot, women without fathers, women who party every weekend, women previously married, plus-sized women, women on dating apps, divorcees. That's a lot of women. That's basically like all the women. Um, And here's what I would say to that. College exists in society right now to be this like buffer. I mean, obviously it's like a place where you can go to get an education, but in the same way that people talk about like technology, the whole point of like technology, it doesn't have to just be an app. It could be like life hacking where you just choose or you learn how to like optimize your life so effectively that it just like works and you just get better over time. Like I feel like the extreme minimalists have gotten to that where they've used like it's technology to simply like hack their lives. But I mean, if you have like a washing machine in your house at this point, you kind of are utilizing technology or things like a car or even like public transportation like the bus. It can allow you to like get to where you, there's all these things that could be considered like technology, like showers, running water, rice cookers. Anyway, the point is though that like college is this place where you can go and meet people who are at like the same stage of life that you are, where they haven't really done, you know, too much yet, and they're probably like looking to go to like the next step in their life, maybe with you. So to the men who have to make that list in the first place, like your window has like already passed. Like you the whole idea of that is like people who have already like passed their opportunity for, like, all the people who wouldn't fall in either one of those lists don't need the list because they're probably already married or in a relationship with someone else who's not like you, and they're not looking for someone else. I think a major part in the black community specifically, there's just been too much like hoism. And I'm not talking about amongst women here. I'm talking about amongst men. The men are like notorious cheaters in all of these like really strange ways. And so for many of them during their peak time when they could have just like found a perfectly decent wife to settle down with and have a family and all these things where they wouldn't have to deal with these problems, they didn't do it. Or some of them did, but then they just completely blew off their family, or they picked the wrong person. Sometimes it's a toss up, but for the most part it's not. I feel like if you're kind of, you could get to know someone's values pretty quickly by you know, chatting with them over a period of time. Another thing that I think is very strange is like the judgment thing. It's like you, a cool part about having a YouTube channel, especially having it over time, is you can literally get to know someone. You can like literally watch like story after story, then watch their growth. That's what I tried to do with this channel. Now, like, you can just go back and see like how I felt last year, like the year before, because I'm documenting it for you. The strange thing with like the Instagram girls or the OnlyFans models, they're not talking about anything. They're just like showing you their bodies or something. And that's whatever. I don't know how to feel about that. I think, like I said, women should stop hypersexualizing themselves just because it's weird. It's weird. Like, you're an actual human person and you just like have to be a human person. Like, it's just like a requirement for life. So that's just strange. This is like the weirdest fucking conversation for so many reasons. Like, you could spend a lot of money at the Cheesecake Factory. So if you're sitting here like shitting on the Cheesecake Factory, I feel like you don't know how to order. I'm definitely not sitting here being like the Cheesecake Factory is the end all be all. It's so great. There's way nicer restaurants than the Cheesecake Factory. It's not that bad though. Also, IHOP has pretty good pancakes. So if you like pancakes, then I wouldn't like shit. Maybe some people are like you know, fundamentally opposed to pancakes, and in that sense they are like, yeah, fuck. Or like like Starbucks, you'd be like, some of the things are strange. Like when you're first getting to meet someone, like, why would you be expecting someone to spend like thousands of dollars on you, like a stranger who like they don't even know? That's weird. If you're a girl and you're thinking that, that's weird. But I also think it's weird because, like, some guys don't even, like, they just don't plan to spend any money at all. They'll be like, let's go on a walk or something. And I do understand girls being like, I'm not going, no. Because it costs money for them to get there. Like, if they have to Uber or something to get there, it's like that. Yeah, that costs money. So just don't go. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I think that on both, on both sides, it's kind of like everybody is taking a risk, really. And shit, like, I don't know. You should just decide. Like, some people aren't worth the risk. You might not be worth the risk to somebody, and somebody might not be worth the risk to you. And you could just like live with that, really. Like, I don't know, when it comes down to it in your life, you might have like one or two people who might be like your person. Literally, like, everybody else is not. And that's something like I felt like for a while. It was like, oh, but I could just try people on and like try to make, a triangle fit into a circle, and that shit doesn't work. The fact is, there's going to be like one or two people in your life. Like, you're probably going to live like 70 years, bro. Like, seriously. Like, everyone, most people that you're coming across, like most people in your community, most people around are not your person. They're just like there. So, like, for women, you should just think about it like that. Like, as you are meeting people and you're like thinking about going on dates and you're on an app or something, like, most of those people, 99%, 99.99999% of people aren't your people. I strongly disagree with the, like, if you travel regularly alone. I do that all the time. I go like basically everywhere alone. I there are some places like I like to like schedule time to meet up with a friend if I want, but like, I work. That's another thing about like working. Okay, like, you literally see people all the time, and a lot of times, like, your coworkers do become your friends, or you might have like some friends who are like outside of your coworkers, but it's like you're interacting with these people that you're working with a lot, and they're cool. Like, hopefully, you like your coworkers somewhat. And yeah, like, it's just, I don't know. I think probably everyone should, for a moment, spend a little bit of time alone, especially for women, so you can get to know yourself. That's important. But the cheesecake girlies, I don't know why that's a whole, like, a lot of people are strange. And I will say this to any woman out there, like, ask yourself how much money you could spend on yourself before you ask how much a guy can spend on you. Date your, like, literally learn how to date yourself. I saw this from another woman who was talking about this, and I would heavily agree with that. It's kind of one of the strange things about modeling that it will like teach you, and I feel like I learned this, and it taught me a lot about men. Like, when I put on a dress, okay, like, I don't really wear dresses anymore because I can't. Some dresses I can wear a cheap dress and make it look really good. But I like really expensive dresses, and I mean like really expensive dresses. Like, I told you guys I would probably start renting the runway, and I think I'm gonna get a car soon, so then I'll actually be able to like give you guys some looks at a cheek wood, but not the point, because how can I say this? If I'm wearing a $20,000 dress that I know is $20,000, and the guy who I'm with, he has no idea. Like, he looks at the dress and he just thinks it's just a nothing dress. That's actually happened to me before, and it made me look at him like he was so worthless. Like, I just looked at him, and to me, I thought he was trash. And like, to me, I don't know what he thought about the dress. Maybe he wasn't into fashion. I don't know whatever. That wasn't the point though. Like, I knew how expensive the dress was. Like, from the material to the buttons to the colors to all of it, to the pleating to the fabric, the stitching. I knew, right? Because like, I'm just aware of fashion. I've just been in the industry. I know fashion, and he didn't know. And internally, it made me so upset. And I think I thought about that day for so long. I just did. I was like, wow, this guy is trash. And it made me look at men as being like, wow, they have no idea what worth is. Like, this dress has a market value. I understand, like, I'm not expecting all men to know all of the dresses, but it's the same thing of like women. Like, it made me think like, wow, this guy could look at a very valuable woman and just not even know. And you just have to realize that most guys are like that. Like, Obviously all women have value, but like the shit they look at it is just now that men are coming on here telling people to stop liking Instagram or OnlyFans girls. Guys like those girls. They like them. And that's not a bad thing though. A lot of them are cute. They're cute girls. I don't know. They are. Um yeah, I don't know. They're cute girls. There's nothing wrong with being cute and being a girl. That's a thing. They should like that. Has nothing to do with like high fashion or beauty or anything, in my personal opinion. But yeah, that is just my personal opinion.